Welcome, welcome everyone. We're gonna take a couple of minutes and wait for everyone to enter the session today. We are so glad you're here. I'm gonna start with a little exercise as people are entering. In your chat, please enter the country you represent. So let's see how many numbers of countries. So Oman, Vietnam, Indonesia, Brazil, Argentina in the house, Taiwan, Indonesia, China, South Korea, Malaysia, China, Kenya, Egypt, China, India, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. All right, well, thank you so much. Japan. All right, thank you so much. I think there are a couple more people coming. Okay. All right, I think we are at 62 now. So 62 participants are here. So again, really wanna let you know that how glad we're so glad to see you here. And so we are gonna start with a quick video that was taken pre-pandemic. But there are some really key lessons in the video that we wanted you to have the opportunity to absorb. So we can get started.
We've come from around the world to the University of Minnesota to learn new things, have new experiences, and pursue our dreams. University is a big, diverse, and exciting place to be, and sometimes that can feel overwhelming, especially if English isn't your first language.
Sometimes class discussions move too quickly for me to jump in. How do other students read everything they are assigned? It takes me all night.
Sometimes I feel like people don't want to be in a group project with me.
I'm funny in my native language, but it's harder to be funny in English.
Even though my TOEFL score was high, I'm still nervous about asking questions in class.
It's easy to feel discouraged sometimes, and some may judge us because our English isn't perfect. But we also know how valuable being multilingual is.
I can think outside the box to solve problems.
I can communicate with so many more people.
Effective communication is something that employers value.
I'm more creative and flexible in new situations.
I know that being multilingual will be important in my future career. Studying at the U, we're learning and experiencing so much, and there are so many opportunities to improve our communication skills.
I went to career services and I feel more confident to network and interview.
I go to English support service for extra practice.
I'm learning more academic vocabulary for my major.
I'm taking a class to improve my speaking skills.
All students improve their language skills while studying at the U. We are all learning new vocabulary. We are all adjusting to new expectations for reading and writing in our major. All learning how to interact with a diverse community and finding ways to manage our workload and time. While we are here, halfway across the world, let's find opportunities to expand our language skills. This might mean taking risks and stepping out our comfort zones. We've made it this far. Let's take advantage of everything the University of Minnesota offers to continue building our communication skills.
I want to just again welcome you and let you know today's session really is about normalizing this idea of doing things, normalizing asking for help. Know that you are navigating a different environment, and as you navigate not only a new educational system, but you're navigating this educational system online. And so one of the things that we at the University of Minnesota have done in order to adjust to this new environment, we have really learned to work closely together and really normalize this idea that doing it alone really creates way more stress than doing it with people, and discovering the many resources that you have. So really, today is about creating a sense of connection and community with the people who are going to be here, who are gonna be part of your journey as you navigate the campus, as you navigate some of the challenges that you may face, and as you navigate the victories you may will make. So really want to encourage you, as there is a whole community of people, staff, student leaders who are going to be there for you. And so this session today will cover a number of things, and I'll go over the agenda with you. So you are going to meet library resources, Smart Learning Commons, Minnesota English Language Program, student writing support, and career services. So all of the staff who are here to tell you not just about the resources, but also how to connect with them. So on that note, I am gonna hand it over to a very special ISSS staff person, Charles Dania, who's gonna tell you a little bit about the role ISSS plays with supporting students. Charles?
Thank you, Kabir. I want to join my voice to that of Kabir to welcome everyone here to this event. I am so excited that you're here today. My name is Charles Dania. I am an academic counselor at ISSS. The academic counseling program at ISSS is designed to help students succeed academically. We understand that students go through a lot of challenges, coming from different countries, from different educational systems. Some of you might be thinking right now, what does a US classroom look like? And so we work with students to identify some of these challenges that they're going through, because sometimes students do not even know, they cannot even pinpoint the exact challenge that they're facing. And so we work with students to understand these challenges. We help them to develop strategies and skills on how to overcome these challenges. And we also recognize that, while working with students, we have other campus partners, other resources on campus that we have to collaborate with to ensure that our students succeed. And so today, we're going to be hearing from these, resources on campus. We're going to be hearing from staff who are going to be telling you more about these resources, what they do, how you can access their services. We're also going to be hearing very powerful voices from students who were once like you, who have lived, who have felt the way you're feeling right now, and who have successfully navigated that process. And they're going to tell you how they use some of these resources and how they were successful. And so I encourage you to listen to them. I know you might have questions in the end. There's time for that, and that's going to be taken care of. Keep your questions, but just listen to them and listen to them as they share their experiences. So without wasting time, I will call on Kat from a librarian at the Social Sciences Library, and Leo, a Global Gopher leader, to share about the library and their experiences.
Thank you, Charles. Hi, My name is Kat Nelson, and I'm a social sciences librarian with the University Libraries. And I'm so happy to be here today to talk to you about how the University Libraries and the people there can support you on your academic journey. Next slide. First of all, welcome. I'm here on behalf of all of the staff at the University Libraries, and we wish we could be meeting you in person, but since that's not possible this year, a few of us got together and created a welcome video for you. So when we go to the next slide, we're going to play a little portion of that video.
I'm a librarian who usually works in Walter Library.
I'm Alicia, and this is Leroy.
Hi, my name is Charlie Hines.
My name is Kristen Cooper, and I'm the Plant Sciences librarian.
Hey everybody, my name is Eric Hallis.
Hey, my name is Wanda Marsalik.
I'm the librarian for the Earth Sciences, Physics, and Astronomy departments. I like to help people learn how to do academic research in those fields.
And I'm the Government Information Librarian at the University of Minnesota Libraries.
I'm a media consultant, so that means that I help students with their class video assignments or podcast assignments.
What I do is I help people find information that they need.
I'm the Toaster Innovation and Outreach Specialist in the Toaster Innovation Hub in the basement of Walter Library.
I'm here to help you with any kind of research needs that you may have.
We have a great semester and stay safe.
We're so glad that you're joining us on campus this year, and we're ready to help you with any of your endeavors.
We're really glad you're here, and I hope you have a great semester.
Welcome to the university, and I hope you have a really great semester.
Stop by the Toaster in the basement of Walter Library or find us at toaster.umn.edu.
I'm going to toast to you. When you succeed, we all succeed.
So next slide. There are 12 library buildings on campus. However, because of the current situation, they're really only guaranteed to be about 4 of those library buildings that are going to be open. Walter and the Health Sciences Libraries on the East Bank, Wilson Library on the West Bank, and McGraw Library in St. Paul. If you're planning to visit a campus library, first of all, I would go to lib.umn.edu and check to make sure that that library is open and check on the hours that it's open. And then you should know that social distancing will be enforced and that a mask will be required. And bring your U card so that you can make sure you can get into all those buildings. We know, though, that many of you will not be able to attend the university in person, and or that getting to the library buildings might be difficult, even if you are close to campus. So luckily, we've done a lot of work to make sure that you can access most of what you're going to need for your classes and projects on the library website. Next slide. So we have many online books, magazines, databases, journals, newspapers that can be accessed online at lib.umn.edu. We even have streaming music and videos, and you can access all of the library's materials for free. It's included with your tuition. And you have access to all of these things right now. So after these sessions are done, maybe you could even go to lib.umn.edu and take a look around the website and try typing something in that you're interested in into that big search box and see what you can find. Next slide. We try to make it easy to find the stuff that you need, but with so much stuff, it can be really tricky. So we library staff specialize in helping you to find what you're looking for. Remember that your tuition helps to pay the library and the staff. So we want you to find what you need. Next slide. One of the ways that we make this easy is by having a 24/7 chat button. So when you go to the library's homepage, up in that top right corner, there's a 24/7 chat. You can contact a real live librarian 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they can answer general questions about the university, look up information about your library account, and help you to find the resources that you need for your papers and projects. Next slide. And so if you're looking for some ways to learn some new skills and connect with others at the university and maybe even get, a head start on some skills that you're going to want for your academics, we offer a wide variety of online synchronous workshops this fall. And so things like virtual library website tours, managing online courses, planning your semester, taking notes, virtually or in real life, virtual study groups, and more. So you can view all the library workshops and register at this link that's in the slides, and I believe the slides will be sent out after this session. Next slide. So it can be really hard to ask for help. I know that when I started at the university, I felt like I needed to know how everything worked. Like I was expected to know how everything worked and how to find what I needed. And it wasn't later until I realized that the really brave and smart thing to do is to ask for help. And so that's kind of my personal tip for you. Ask lots of questions and use all the resources that the university provides to you because you're paying for those resources. So get the most out of them. And lastly, never pay for articles. If you find something that you need for a class or for a paper or for a project on some website that's asking you to pay like $30 or $40 to get access to it, don't do that. Contact the university libraries. We can probably get that article for you. That's what we do. We like our jobs. So ask us if you have any questions and we will find you an answer. Next slide. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and talk to you about this stuff and have a fabulous semester. And now I'm going to turn it over to Leo.
Yeah, thank you, Kat. Hi, everyone. This is Leo. I'm majored in landscape architecture in the College of Design. Libraries are one of the best places that access resources and self-study. So for myself, I usually spend several hours per weekend to work in the library study for tasks next week. However, if you are studying in your own country, you can still access the library resources by the library website that Kat introduced. Even though that the library have reduced hours on the real life or on the library website, you can access any books and you can chat with with a librarian anytime in the function of 24/7. Hope you all have a great experiences with the library resources. And I will hand the mic back to Charles.
Thank you, Kat, from the libraries, and Leo for sharing your experience with us about how to best utilize all the things the libraries can do for you. It is very important to know how to use these resources. And so I'd like to invite Brett, the Assistant Director for Learning Support Initiatives at Smart Learning Commons, and Lisa, a Smart Learning peer tutor and international student, who will be sharing about Smart Learning Commons. Brett, please.
Great, thank you, Charles. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the University of Minnesota. We're all very happy that you're here. My name is Brett Gray, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director for Learning Support Initiatives, as Charles mentioned, and I'm joining you today to share some resources that will help you succeed academically while you're at the University of Minnesota. Also, one of our peer tutor mentors, Lisa, is here, and later Lisa will provide some advice for you regarding using resources and getting started at the University of Minnesota. Lisa, do you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa. I'm a senior math major student, and I'm currently a smart peer tutor, and I'll be a peer tutor mentor in the next semester. I mainly tutor math and statistics. If you got some question on that area, you can check in with me. So I'll hand it to Brett.
Great, thanks, Lisa. To start out, we have a couple of survey questions we'd like you to answer on Zoom. The first survey question should appear on your screen shortly. These survey questions are completely anonymous, so no one will see your answers. But the first question we'd like you to respond to is, have you ever received academic help from a tutor? And select yes or no, submit your response. A tutor could be anyone other than your teacher typically, who likely has more experience in a class or subject and has maybe helped you learn the material. So maybe another student who was a year or two ahead of you and helped you, or a professional tutor of some sort. So we'll just leave a few seconds if you can select yes or no if you've received academic help from a tutor in the past. Okay, hopefully everyone's had a chance to respond, but for the sake of time, we can end the poll and share the results. Great, so it seems like quite a few, over 50% of you all joining us have met with a tutor before, so that's really good to see. Many of you might be familiar with this. So let's close this and go into the next poll, which is similar, but for the second question, we're asking, have you ever received academic help from a friend or a peer before? So again, select yes or no. Maybe you worked with them on a project or a difficult homework problem. Maybe you helped each other study for an exam or a quiz, but have you ever received academic help from a friend or peer? Great. So hopefully everyone has had a chance to respond. If we can end the poll and share the results. Okay, so quite a few more. 87% have received academic help from a friend or peer in the past. So that's really good to see. And the reason I asked these two questions, have you received help from a tutor, have you received help from a friend or peer, is because at the Smart Learning Commons, which is what I'll be talking about, all of our tutors are UMN students. So it's really like the best of both worlds. You're getting help from a peer and a friend, and you're getting help from a tutor as well, particularly a highly trained tutor who's there to help you. So the main service I'll be talking about today, as I mentioned, is the Smart Learning Commons, where we offer 3 types of tutors, and we can advance to the next slide. All right, so first, one type of tutor we offer are the smart peer tutors, and these are probably the type of people you think of if you're familiar with tutoring, which over 50% of you are. We help with specific academic courses, supporting over 250 different courses at the U of M, including math, chemistry, physics, computer science, nursing, accounting, statistics, as Lisa mentioned, and many more. We also offer general help with writing, statistics, and general computer programming. We have over 50 highly trained tutors on our staff, all of whom are successful UMN students. And for our service, even if you feel like you're doing well in classes, you can meet with our tutors to help study for an upcoming exam or just get some extra practice on a concept for one of your assignments. We're great study partners and we really want to help. If we can advance the slide. The next type of tutor we have, which were kind of mentioned in the libraries portion, are the peer research consultants. And these are tutors who are trained through the libraries to help you with research during your time at the University of Minnesota. They can help you with your research papers when it comes down to narrowing your topic, finding academic sources, and figuring out which library databases to use, as Kat mentioned earlier. Peer research consultants have skills to make your research as efficient and as effective as possible to help save you a lot of time. They can also help students get connected to faculty-sponsored research projects if you're interested in pursuing research with faculty. And lastly, our media services tutors help with any media projects you might have. Projects might include video, audio, photography, and any type of editing. Students on campus or near campus can check out equipment like cameras, tripods, and microphones. And all students anywhere can consult with our media services team regarding editing software, media options for a project, and more. So you can have confidence that your project will be excellent after you meet with our media services team. All of these services can be found at our website, smart.umn.edu. Also, all of these are student employment positions. So if any of you are considering working at the University of Minnesota, you can in the future apply to work with SMART, and we'd be happy to have you. As I mentioned, we're also joined by Lisa, who has worked as a Smart Peer Tutor for 2 years, and this year will be a Peer Tutor Mentor. Lisa is one of the most experienced tutors we have on staff, and wanted to share a little bit of advice with you as you prepare for your first semester at the University of Minnesota. Lisa is also going to talk a little bit about how to connect with resources like SMART, so I'll pass it over to Lisa.
Thank you, Brett. This event actually recalled my first time arrived on campus and attended the Global Gopher event. Everything was very exciting and also a little mysterious and overwhelming for me. So that's okay if you feel the same. And today, as an international student and a peer tutor, I want to share my experience from both perspectives. The main idea I want to share is trust. So what I mean is trust yourselves, trust your resources, so you can be brave to reach out for help. First, I want to emphasize on trusting your English ability. Everybody gets stuck sometime or making grammar mistakes from time to time is perfectly normal. I want to say don't let your concerns in English held you back from asking for help. And second, I want to say, trust your academics still. Don't feel bad for asking. Entering college is already a huge challenge, and we international students are facing another challenge of culture change. And you guys are facing another challenge of the pandemic, where many courses are online. The situation is hard, and it's perfectly normal to feel confused in class. This happened to many people, including me. It might seem scary, but I highly recommend you to reach out for help if you're stuck somewhere. We are here to support you. And lastly, I want to say, please trust us, peer tutors, and all other resources you can see today or you can find somewhere else on the website. This fall is special, as I said, because many classes are online. You might feel panic or lost in classes, maybe because you cannot see your classmates are like, where are they or how are they performance in class? In this case, you might want to talk to us. More than tutor, we are peers, and thus we were in the same position just like where you are. We will be able to offer an overview of the class, and hopefully this will reduce your panic. And that's all I want to share today. Remember to check in with smart tutors, and hope you have a great semester. I'll send it back to Brett.
Excellent. Thank you, Lisa. And finally, there are just a few more academic services to help you succeed if we go to the next slide. The Academic Success Centers, including SMART, offer tutoring, writing help, media and research help, and they even offer coaching and study skills to help you become a more efficient and successful student. Basically, the Academic Success Centers offer everything you need to do your best in the classroom. All of the services I've mentioned through SMART and the Academic Success Centers are free to U of M students, so don't wait. Visit us early in the semester, visit us often throughout the semester, like I said, even just to get a little extra practice in your classes. You can follow us on social media at UMN Success for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to connect with us and stay informed. Also, the main thing to remember is to visit our website, success.umn.edu, where you can find all of these great services. Again, welcome to the University of Minnesota, and we look forward to your visits to SMART and the other academic success centers. Thanks for your time, and I'll send it back to Charles.
Thank you, Brett and Lisa, for sharing. Like they said, trust in yourself, trust us, and know that we're here for you to support you. For our next resource, I'm inviting our colleagues over at the Minnesota English Language Program, David, who is a senior teaching specialist and an academic coordinator, and Leanne, who is faculty and staff at Minnesota English Language Program, to share.
Thank you, Charles, and hello and welcome to the Minnesota English Language Program, or MELP. My name is Leanne Godfrey, and I'm an ESL instructor and faculty liaison.
And I'm David Atterbury, an instructor and the academic coordinator in the program.
And we're here to tell you a little bit about MELP and invite you to participate in our program. We know that you all come to the university with very high English language skills and English language proficiency scores. But we also know that academic English language development is ongoing, and getting a little extra support is a normal part of the process. So we have several kinds of resources, including academic English classes, online resources, tutoring, and talks about US culture. And we're going to tell you a little bit about them. Next slide. At MELP, we offer many 4-credit academic English language classes. Some are skill specific and intended to help you with certain things such as speaking and writing skills. Others are content specific and intended to support you in classes such as business or chemistry. And others are more general and intended to help support your transition to studying in an US educational system. This fall, most of our classes will be fully online and either asynchronous or remote with synchronous Zoom meetings at specific times. All are taught by experienced teachers, and perhaps the best part about our classes is that they are small and offer lots of opportunity to get to know classmates and your teacher and help build community within the larger university, even in the online space. Next slide.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Student English Language Support, or SELS for short. Student English Language Support is a tutoring service for undergraduate students who would like to polish or enhance their English skills. In a 45-minute consultation, CELS can help students work on any aspect of English, including writing, speaking, listening, reading, grammar, pronunciation, even non-language specific skills like cultural adaptation and socializing with other students. Students can bring specific assignments to CELS, like an essay or a presentation you're working on, or they can work on more general language goals like understanding lectures better or making small talk with your lab partners. Next slide. CELS is easy to use. CELS offers mostly one-on-one consultations to work on English skills and occasional group consultations for students to work on conversation skills in groups. In fall 2020, all CELS conversations will be offered online using Google Meet, so you can meet face-to-face with a consultant in real time from wherever you happen to be in the world. To make an appointment, visit our website at ccaps.umn.edu/ESLhelp. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at eslhelp@umn.edu. You can also find CELS on the success.umn.edu site that Brett mentioned. Next slide.
In addition to classes and CELS tutoring, we have lots of online resources that you can explore on your own. We invite you to take some time to visit esl.umn.edu to find resources about developing your listening, speaking skills, developing confidence, or developing your reading skills, and so much more. Next slide.
I want to invite you to attend Culture Talks this fall too. MELP hosts Culture Talks every 2 weeks throughout the school year. Culture Talks is a time for U of M students to come together and talk about cultural issues and have fun. Students in MELP's intensive English program, so students who are studying English full-time, regularly attend Culture Talks, and we also welcome all international and domestic students from degree programs at the university to join us for casual conversation on cultural topics and games, and coffee and cookies when we're meeting in person, but unfortunately this fall we'll have to bring our own coffee and cookies. We're going to be meeting on Zoom every 2 weeks on Wednesdays this fall. You can check out our Facebook page for the exact dates and times, facebook.com/MELP Culture Talks. Next slide.
Thank you so much for your time, and we really look forward to seeing you in one of our programs or activities this year. I'm leaving you here with a few extra websites, including esl.umn.edu, where you can find all of our resources. And now I'm going to pass it back to Charles. Thank you.
Thank you, David and Leanne. As always, it's always a pleasure to have the MELP folks with us. A lot of our students talk about the Culture Talks program, so that's something that our students enjoy. So for you, it's something to look forward to. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and social media. For our next speakers, we have Jasmine, the co-director for Center for Writing, and Ray, our Global Gopher Leader.
Hi, everybody. I would love to say it's really lovely to see you all here, but I can't see your faces, and I wish I could. My name is Jasmine Tang, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm representing student writing support today. I'm the daughter of Thai and Chinese immigrants who first came to the United States as college students. And they've told me a lot about their sense of racial, ethnic, and linguistic isolation that they felt probably 40 years ago now. And still, I have a feeling that this sense of isolation continues today, especially in this current political moment here in the US, in the midst of a pandemic. And so knowing that, I especially extend a warm hello to all of you in the international student community here at the U. So thank you so much for joining us today. A little bit about student writing support. We offer free individual writing consultations to all registered students here at the U. All of our consultations this semester are online. And I know that some of y'all will be joining us from time zones, on the other side, right? So we've got some appointments at 9 a.m., for example, and I know that's still pretty late, but we still hope to see you. Each session lasts up to 40 minutes, and you can bring in anything that you're working on. It could be something from class, it could be a scholarship application, grad school admissions essay, It could even be an email to your professor, because I know those are really hard to write sometimes, you know, where we might worry about tone or how to ask a basic question. And I just want to say that a lot of times when we ask those really, really simple questions, it helps everyone. It helps all of your classmates. And it's also a sign of like the way that you advocate for yourself. So the bottom line is we want to support you on anything that you're working on at any phase of the writing process. This could even be where you may have trouble understanding an assignment. I know I've done this before as a student where I'm like, I don't even know what this assignment is asking. So we can kind of be what we might call a sounding board, where we just ask you different questions and we even like help you craft different questions that you could ask your instructor. I hope that makes sense. A little bit about our staff. We have about 50 people on staff from all different majors and disciplines. It includes undergraduate students, graduate students, and professional consultants, some of whom are what we call multilingual learner specialists. They are especially trained to work with multilingual writers. And many of us on staff are also multilingual, and we also have a number of international students on staff. Finally, I just want to say, I know it can be really hard to share your writing with someone else. It's really hard for me, and I've been doing this for a really long time. But I hope that maybe over time, I know for me, it gets easier and easier, and it's helped me become more confident in my writing. So I really hope that you join us this fall, and I hope that we can see you on our daily schedule and come in for an appointment or come in virtually for an appointment. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to Ray now.
Hi everyone, my name is Ray and I'm a sophomore studying psychology in CLA. I use he, him, his pronoun. Since my major is psychology and it requires a lot of essay writing, the student writing support is the most helpful resource for me. As you know, in the United States, you need to bring original ideas that you own. So first, when I heard about student writing support, I wondered how can I go there without having written anything. But in fact, it helps me address many essay issues. Sometimes I do not have ideas about essay, and it's also okay to be there. They will help you to do the brainstorming. Furthermore, they will encourage you to have more meeting with them to get a better version of your essay and help you stay on the track before the due date. So it's a very useful resource. And I know many of you will have first year freshman writing, and also it's a good opportunity to use the support and get a better grade on the course. And I will hand it back to Charles.
Thank you, Jasmine and Ray. I know from working with my students that the Writing Center has always been very helpful. And I know that students are often concerned about their writing. So you can always go to the Writing Center. You could always go to their website and they will be more than willing to help you. So make sure you check their website. For our last guest resources, we have Jane from the Career Services. She's an international career consultant for Career Services, and Michael, Global Gopher Leader. Over to you, Jane.
Thank you, Charles. Hello, everyone. My name is Jane, and I use she and her pronouns. I work in Career Services for undergraduate international students. And I'm so excited that you're here tuning in with us. I am here with Global Gopher leader Michael, who will also be sharing his student experience with you today. And we are so excited to get to know you and to provide career development support through your years as a UMN Gopher. First, let's share about what Career Services is. Career Services will help you explore and plan for both internship and job searches. Career Services is not a placement service, so we don't match students with career opportunities, but we will show you how to look for opportunities and how to successfully get through the application process. Next slide. So you will access Career Services through your college, and we can go through the bullet points too. Every college has a career service, has career services offered. You can meet one-on-one with a career counselor who is a trained staff member similar to an academic advisor, but just for your career development. You can talk with your career counselor about exploring careers, resumes and cover letters, graduate school decision-making, and how to do networking, job searching, informational interview, or even practice for a job interview. It's important to know that international students may have different internship and career options, depending on if you're an F1 student or a J1 student. So it's important to connect with ISSS, International Student and Scholar Services, to understand your options. And there's also many ways that you can develop for your career while you're a University of Minnesota student. That could be volunteering, student employment, and also joining student groups and events. All of these things are great for your career development. Next slide. Here's some more highlights of other activities that you can do with career services. I'll mention a few, such as career development courses. You can take a 1 or 2 credit course and focus that time on your career development. Like I said, we also do mock interviews, practice interviews. You can meet employers through our career fairs and events. And we also have an online job and internship search platform that has thousands of postings for different career opportunities around the world. And we can go to the next slide. All career services are available virtually for now. You can meet with a career counselor for a Zoom appointment, like we're connecting with you today, and see each other, talk about your career development. Career services will also be hosting career fairs online, so you can meet with employers through an online event, and we'll have lots of other online events. So stay tuned for those. We'll share some ways of how to stay connected with us at the end of our slides here. But for now, I'm going to pass it along to Michael, who is going to share his experience.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I'm a senior student studying computer science in CLA. Thank you, Jim, for inviting me to share my experience here today. Career services is a new idea for me since my college at home doesn't have such kind of service. Meeting a career counselor may sound intimidating at first, but they are really just trained staff member similar to academic advisors. They will meet with you specifically to talk about gaining internship and career experiences, understanding your strengths and skills, and preparing for a career after graduation. I had great experience working with CLA Career Services in the past school years. And the service I would definitely recommend to you are the cover letter review service and the resume critique service. I went to the cover letter review service last semester for advice on my internship scholarship application essay. And the career counselor there patiently helped me to polish almost every sentence in my essay to optimize my chance of getting the scholarship. Luckily, I eventually got the scholarship, which makes my internship financially possible during this summer. I can't thank my career counselor enough for assisting me in the application process and making my summer internship come true. Also, I would highly recommend you to attend one of those resume critique sessions prior to going to the career fair. Before I attended my first career fair, I met with a technical recruiter during the resume critique session at CLA Career Services, who looked through my resume and gave me some pieces of advice to make my resume more professional and concise. When I brought my tailored resume to the career fair, I received 5 interviews in the next weeks. So if you are seeking any career-related information or advice, make sure you reach out to Career Services, and I promise you won't regret it. Thanks. I will pass the mic to Jing again.
Thank you, Michael. We have just one last slide. We hope you will stay in touch with us. Like I said, we're looking forward to getting to know you. We have our website here as the first link. And then if you use Facebook, you can connect with us at International Careers. We post events, job opportunities, student employment opportunities there. And then if you use WeChat or Line, you can also connect with me there. And I repeat the same information from the Facebook page on those accounts. So thank you. And we're excited that you are here with us. I'm going to pass it back to Charles.
Thank you, Jane and Michael, for sharing. These academic resources are going to be key in navigating your academic journey as a Global Gopher. It is a successful, it is a success trait when students know when to ask for help and where to ask for help. Even if you don't know where to start, you can always ask your peers of staff, including ourselves in ISSS. So I encourage all of you in the audience to learn how to ask questions, take advantage of this opportunity, especially since you're taking classes online. There might be some confusion around things. Feel free to reach out to us and ask questions. We are here for you. Again, I want to thank our academic resources and to everybody. For our students here online, please look at our asynchronous content on the Weeks of the Welcome Canvas page, as there are a lot more information that have been shared with you that would be very beneficial. And now I want to pass it on to Kabir.
Thank you, Charles. Again, at ISSS, we pride ourselves of saying ISSS is home away from home. It is your home away from home. And we really take that to heart, meaning that even though we are in a virtual environment and you might be studying from your own home, that we are still your academic home. So really want to thank the resources. Just know that ISSS works really closely with each and every resource who has presented. And as we say, you have a whole family of staff who are here for you. So as we transition to a break, I just want to stress that being on Zoom can be really tiring. And sometimes it's important to remind yourself to stand up, stretch, get a glass of water to drink, just to make sure that you are always refreshed. So please try and take a little break. We have a 2-minute break. I want to introduce this lovely video that was done by one of our Global Gopher influencers. So if you follow us on Instagram, you will find their work there. And so we'll start the break, and there is music, just some scenes from the Twin Cities. And when the music stops, just come back again. And the next part is really, you'll get to, we'll get an opportunity to answer the questions you have submitted to us. And also, if time permits, we will actually take some live questions. Just make sure use the Q&A function, which will allow you to ask an anonymous question if need be. I know some of you have already started asking questions. We also have someone answering those questions. If we don't get to all of them, we welcome you to connect with any of the resources, even prior to school starting, the semester starting. And so make those connections early, build those relationships, and you will not feel confused, you will feel supported. And it's great to have all of the folks presenting here today to be there for you as a support. So we'll start the break now. Welcome back, welcome back. Hopefully that was a little bit of a break and a refresher for you. And so now we are gonna enter our Q&A portion. We've received, as I said, several questions from you, and thank you for those questions. That's a great habit to form, to ask questions when you need some help or clarification. So we really, truly appreciate that. I want to introduce Marina O'Hara. She is the Educational Specialist for Student Engagement and Intercultural Initiatives, and one of our amazing, brilliant staff people who supports and mentors students throughout. So Marina, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Kabir, for the really kind introduction. If you have not attended the other Global Gopher events in the last 2 weeks, I will reintroduce myself. My name is Marina O'Hara, and I am the Education Program Specialist here with International Student Scholar Services at the University of Minnesota. Woof, long title. I used to be an international student from Argentina before I started working, when I came here as a student at the U of M, and now I'm a staff member in ISSS. My role in the office is to coach and mentor international students through the Cultural Core program in ISSS. And one of my most favorite parts is meeting all of you one-on-one, making sure that you do well and strategizing on how best to meet your goals by the time you graduate. And that means utilizing all of the resources that we had as guest panelists today. So welcome again. I'm going to move on to the Q&A portion, but I will ask Sarah, one of our colleagues, to introduce herself, and then we can start with some of the questions that have been pre-submitted. Sarah.
Thank you so much, Marina. Again, for those who maybe haven't joined, I'm going to join GGE events in the past. I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Sarah Krieger. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I work in International Student and Scholar Services. I work with sponsored students, so I assist sponsored students who have funding from maybe their home country government, maybe the US government, to navigate some of the intricacies of having a sponsoring organization. Super excited to be here today. I'm going to be moderating some of the questions and answers from you all, our live questions after our panel. So I'm going to pass it back to Marina.
Thank you, Sarah, and awesome. So let's welcome the Global Gopher Events leaders back to our virtual stage for this portion of the Global Gopher Events. So I have one question for Florence. Most important, given the fact that a lot of you will be taking online courses or hybrid classes, how do you navigate the online world and be successful?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So like many of you all, actually this is gonna be only my second semester taking online classes, but I still have a few tips that I would like to share with all of you. So first of all, treat online classes like a real class. That means don't wake up 5 minutes before your class. I did that last semester and I totally regret it because I was so tired I couldn't pay attention in class. So don't do that. Don't wake up 5 minutes before your class. Second of all, I would say make use of any planners that you have. So be it a physical one or something like Google Calendar. So for me, I'm really easily distracted by my surroundings. So I found it really helpful to have a schedule for myself that has a good balance between personal time and study time. I also make sure to create Google Calendar events for all of the classes that I have and any meetings that I have, so I won't forget anything, as everything's on Zoom and you don't have to go anywhere. In terms of being on track with classwork, I used a Google spreadsheet to enter all of the assignments, tests, exams, or lectures that I have on my classes all in one place, so that is easily accessible. Since we're doing online classes right now, some classes might be asynchronous, meaning that it's pre-recorded lectures and you don't have to be on the Zoom class during the class times. So my tip is don't put off listening to those lectures because it will pile up at the end of the day. actively participate in class. So right now, since we're doing Zoom classes, most professors are fine with you participating via the chat function. So make use of that if you're shy or you're not willing to speak up in class. Keep in communication with your instructors, your teaching assistants, and your peers, and always ask for help when you're in doubt. Also, make sure to take a break from screens to rest your eyes. Doing stretch breaks would also help, just like what Kabir said. For me, I like to have some small snacks and a water bottle beside me when I'm doing my classes, so to give myself a boost of energy in between classes. At the end of the day, remember that being a student can be like a full-time job. And one of your goals when you're attending the university is to gain an education. So make studying one of your priorities.
Thank you, Florence. And I really like the no screen break time to rest your eyes advice. On a more academic specific question for Ray, as students prepare to become Global Gophers with us, what is one thing that is different about being a student in the United States versus back in your home country?
Thanks, Marina. I think one thing that is different about being a student in the US is learning about plagiarism. In my home country, people do not really pay much attention to it. However, it is a very serious mistake in the US. To be more specific, there is a policy against plagiarism. Students will face very serious consequences if they violate that. All syllabus will have a plagiarism statement, so make sure you read your syllabus and talk to your instructor for the standards. The Office for Community Standards defines plagiarism as representing the words, creative work, or ideas of another person as one own without providing proper documentation of the source. So make sure you cite your resource during, if you want to use other people's work.
Thank you, Ray, for sharing that. It is important to know about classroom expectations, but we also know that a lot of this information is new. So I can't emphasize enough to ask questions, in particularly asking what you should know before a class. So the resources can be any of your academic advisors, your instructors during office hours, the ISSS staff, or any of our amazing guest academic resources panelists today. A different kind of question, but still related to being successful. Michael, other than academics, what does a successful student mean to you?
Thanks for the question, Marina. I think a successful student not only succeeds academically, but in many perspectives. I think a successful college student is organized and able to use time efficiently. Besides, a successful student is also active in school activities and willing to take up leadership roles. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And I know for a fact that you have been involved in various organizations and have gained valuable leadership experience that I am sure has made a positive impact in your academics. From one of our pre-submitted questions, we want to know from Leo, what was it like for you to ask for help in your first year here at the University of Minnesota?
Thank you, Marina. Ask for help might be really hard for an international student because most of the time we couldn't describe our problems or the needs very clearly. But remember, don't give up. People are willing to help you. You just have to ask. In the first year of my college life, I felt trouble others when I asked for help. So this make it harder for me to really solve some problems. But after I get used to ask help, you will feel that things are much easier to get finished. Remember that all the staffs here are for you, and you should be getting out and ask for helps.
Thank you, Leo. And again, all students have had to ask for help in order to succeed, because there's no way you can get to know this university on your own. The U of M is gigantic, and it's one of the largest campuses here in the United States. So even us staff have to ask for help to navigate the university, and we're asking questions constantly. And we want you to know that it's okay to ask questions and ask for help. Actually, it is expected. So I will now pass it on to Kabir and Sarah, who will be moderating the live questions submitted on the Q&A function.
Thank you, Marina. And student leaders, really great advice there. So now I know some of you are active on the Q&A chat. Please feel free to ask questions. We have some time to answer a few of those questions. Just know that if we don't get to your questions, just be sure to reach out to us. All of the resources are open and available to you, so feel free to connect with them. So I want to introduce Sarah, who is our amazing staff person who serves sponsored students, who's going to navigate and help us facilitate the live Q&A.
Thank you so much, Kabir. Excited to be doing this. And I think we had a great question asked a little bit ago, which kind of ties into what Marina was saying. So let me find that. So the University of Minnesota, as Marina was saying, is gigantic. It's huge. And that can be really overwhelming sometimes. And there's a lot of resources. So sometimes you might have a question about something specific, but you don't know which person or research to contact. So the question was, who would be the first resource or person maybe to contact? So Jasmine had a great place to start, success.umn.edu. And I also wanted to see if Charles would be able to answer this question. Charles, would you mind answering who would maybe be the first place to start if a student doesn't know which resource to contact?
I think Charles probably is unavailable.
So okay.
Maybe
I can answer it.
Yeah, or maybe Jasmine, we can ask Jasmine to.
Sure, yeah, Jasmine, do you wanna jump in and answer this one?
Take it, Sarah.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I work in ISSS, and I think that I get a lot of different questions, and I love problem solving and thinking creatively about, okay, what is the question and how can we best find a resource? So ISSS is a great place to start. We have academic counselors on staff there who can help you navigate which direction to go in. Maybe it's the Writing Center, maybe it's the Smart Learning Commons. So that's a great place to start. Otherwise, asking other classmates, you know, people who have maybe been here for a semester or two might know a good place to start. Or just, you know, honestly, you could probably ask anybody at the libraries, anywhere. We as staff just want to make sure that students are being supported and can direct you if we're not the best place, or we might know of a great place for you to start. All right. So we had another great question about peer tutors that I wanted to ask. Scheduling appointments with peer tutors. So do you need to schedule an appointment in advance? And then kind of tying in on that, we also had a question about a specific major. Does the College of Science and Engineering, Civil Engineering have peer tutors? So with the Smart Learning Commons, or anyone else want to jump in on maybe how to connect with peer tutors versus either setting up appointments, or are there drop-in hours? So maybe I'll start off with Brett, if you want to take that.
Perfect. Thanks, Sarah. I was just typing a response to that Q&A question, so I appreciate the time here. Yeah, so great questions. The Smart Learning Commons, we offer both drop-in tutoring where you don't need an appointment. You can just search our schedules. Our schedules will be posted definitely by the first day of class. And you can go to our website, which I'll send in the chat shortly here, to search our schedules once those are posted. And we'll have drop-in times. So if we have a tutor available, you can show up. You can just join that Zoom link while we're doing virtual drop-in tutoring, and join that Zoom link, and the tutor will be there ready to help at whatever, at what time you need during their schedules. So drop-ins are available, but tutors might be meeting with multiple students at one time during drop-in. So if you plan ahead and would like one-on-one time, just you and the tutor, you can also schedule one-on-one appointments through that same scheduling system. So just know we have both options available based on whatever you think will be most helpful for you. For the question about CSE civil engineering tutors, we do have some civil engineering courses that we've supported historically. We especially support a lot of the beginning classes. I imagine a lot of civil engineers need to take a lot of math and potentially physics, I'd imagine. So we definitely support some of those classes as you get started. And also we're always looking to expand the courses that we support. So if any of you are civil engineers and you notice, hey, there aren't enough civil engineer tutors, then we'd invite you to apply to become a tutor in the future and help us fill any gaps that you notice in what we're offering. So be sure to check our schedules. Once the semester starts, you can search by individual classes and type in your class and see what tutors we have available. And if you ever have any questions, you can certainly reach out to us directly. And as I said, I'll send the link to our website in the chat to everyone shortly. So thank you, and let us know if you have any other questions.
Thank you so much, Brett. Jasmine, did you want to maybe chime in here about meeting with somebody at the Writing Center?
Sure, thanks, Sarah. We have same-day appointments available, so no drop-ins this semester, but I do anticipate you should be able to get a same-day, if not same-hour appointment this semester. And I totally forgot the other thing I was going to say, so I'll stop.
All right, thanks so much, Jasmine. And then I also want to point out, Kat had mentioned that the library services have 24-hour, the chat function. So that's a great resource as well. That 24 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, that's amazing, because I know I also am actually a student and there have been some questions at 2 a.m. So that's a great resource too. Kabir, do you think we have time for one more question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Oh, there's a great question here about course materials for online classes. I think that's an awesome question, and one that I often talk to students about is interlibrary loan for finding course materials. But I think there's two sides to this question. How do you find course materials, and then them being online? So perhaps for this one, maybe we'll start, Kat, would you mind talking about course materials, maybe using the libraries to possibly find some course materials? And then Global Gopher Leader maybe might want to take, how does that kind of work, being online and having your course materials? How does that, does the professor help you find them? Do they give them to you? So I'll call, if a Global Gopher Leader wants to step up and take that, otherwise I can call on someone. So maybe we'll start with Kat.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. So there is a chance that you will be able to find some of your course materials through the university libraries. We try to purchase, and especially lately, we've been trying to purchase online books and course materials for instructors when they request them. And in those cases, those course materials actually will show up in the Canvas course page, so that you can just access it right from your Canvas page, and your instructor will let you know about how to do that. And then your other course materials, there may still be books and things that you will need to purchase. So even though your class is online, there may be books that you still need to order and get. But I think that a lot of instructors are really trying to, at least my experience so far, has been that instructors are trying to make sure they can provide the course readings and course materials to you in the Canvas site. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Kat. So actually, I was thinking maybe Lisa. Lisa, would you be able to talk about, as you know, your role in working with students and peer tutoring? Would you mind talking about course materials and finding sources for online course materials? How does that all kind of work right now?
So when we were meeting face-to-face, there are actually some textbooks that peer tutors can offer during our sessions, so we can take a reference for that. But it seems a little not realistic for us to do that online. So in future semesters, if you got a chance, you can see if peer tutors have the textbook at the learning center, and maybe we can work on those textbooks together. And now since we are mostly having courses online, I think university library have many textbooks. They have a list, but I forgot how to find it. You can search your course number and see if it is included. Otherwise, from my experience as a student, some professor will provide, this is not insured, but some professor will provide the material will be used on Canvas site or course website. So make sure you read the syllabus carefully and check the announcement made by professors to see if you can find anything.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So Kabir, I actually have one last question. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So one question was just asked, and perhaps a Global Gopher leader would want to take this question. Maybe describing the role of an academic advisor. The question is, I want to know whether contacting my academic advisor is required when changing my plans and courses. So some colleges, as I understand, might have some set classes that students might take their first couple semesters, but could a GGE leader maybe chime in here and talk about the role of an academic advisor in helping you plan your time here at the university?
I think I can answer that question.
Thank you.
Cool. So an academic advisor is really just an advisor that is to help you to find your way through your courses and to make plan for you, not make plan for you, to help you to make plan. So I remember that it is required for the first semester. You have a banner on your MyU account and you have to meet with one of your academic advisor before you can register in the class. But after that, you're free to go. You don't have to meet with your academic advisor every time. But I highly recommend you to meet with your academic advisor regularly, so they can keep track of your plan and they will give you some advice on achieving your academic goals. So yeah, this is my answer. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you so much. Let's see, how are we doing for time here, Kabir?
We can do one more, how's that?
Okay, great. So we have one, I guess maybe this one could go back to Kat. Lots of library questions, which honestly, the library is one of my favorite places. I study a lot on the St. Paul campus. It's great. But one of the questions we received was, if you're looking for a book or a textbook and you've searched the library website, but it's unavailable online. So how would that process work? If there's a book or an article, as you mentioned, that you really want for a paper or for a class that the library might not have, how does that process work?
Well, there's a couple of different ways that you could go about it. If you're looking for a textbook, what I would recommend is, well, there's a couple of different things. Because there's a chance that the textbook is only available in print. And so you would need to find a place that sold the textbook, like the university bookstore, and then you would need to order it and get a print copy. One thing you could try doing though, and I was actually going to type this in an answer, is that you could email me so that I could look and see how much we could purchase it for. And I could do some behind the scenes sort of work there. But you could like when you are looking for an article and you find something like that that's not available, the easiest thing to do is to use that 24/7 chat button and just to be like, I am trying to get access to this article and it's trying to make me pay for it. How do I request it? Or does the libraries actually have it or something like that? Because sometimes we might have it and you just can't find it. And that's why we get paid, is to be able to find the stuff that we have access to as well. So I would say the 24/7 chat is a really great way to start. Otherwise, there's something called interlibrary loan, and you can use that button to request book chapters of things that we have, or and we'll digitize them for you. You can use them to request articles as well that we don't have, and we can usually borrow those articles from another library.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you all very much for answering these questions. And thank you to all the attendees here for asking such great questions. See, questions are amazing, and always be asking them because they really, they will help, staff here. We want you to have such a great time and succeed in your academic goals. So ask questions because we're always happy to help point you in the right direction if maybe we don't know the answer. All right, I will pass it back to Kabir now. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to the leaders and resources for taking the time to answer the questions that came through. Note that this is not your last chance around asking questions. We are available. Contact all of us to figure out if there are particular things that you need, especially in the beginning, because it is difficult and confusing, and especially if you're studying online from your home country. So I would like to hand it over to Florence, who's going to tell us a little bit about our next session. So Florence, on to you.
Yeah. So our next GGE event will be happening again next Wednesday, which is August 26th. And this time we'll be having a webinar on diversity and equity in the US. So this session will have two parts. The first part will be the usual student panel, and the second part is also a pre-registered caucus group discussions for specific identities. So if you identify with these identities such as Black identifying students, Latinx, Muslim students, and GLBTQIA students, make sure you pre-register and you will get a link to that Zoom with a password 24 hours before the second part starts. So we hope to see you again next week. And back to you, Kabir.
Thank you, Florence. We look forward to seeing you again next week. We have another couple of events coming up. We'll have a great send-off as well from the ISSS staff, where I know the breakout rooms have been very popular. So we are gonna bring them back at the end. So you will actually get to meet specific staff and get your questions answered, and maybe there'll be a special guest. So again, have a great rest of your day and see you next week.